I have never gone in there, and maybe that's a mistake on my part, and changed the answering machine for Trustee McLaughlin. It probably still has Russell Back's answer machine answer on it. I've never dialed the number, never had nothing to do with it. Residents, if you want to get a hold of me, 937-776-0989. I am not scared to talk to anybody. Call me. There's an answer machine on there. I will call you back. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. I think that's all I got. That's good enough for now.
Trustee President, may I say something?
Go ahead.
Mr. McLaughlin, I'd like to correct some of the things you said. Some of it is right, some of it is not right. There are not 6 people in the road department, period. Number 2.
That's what
you approved a seasonal 4 people to be here only during the summer.
On page 5 of your report. 1 full-time employee, 2 part-time employees, 1 part-time, 1 part-time, and 1 supervised administrator. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3. That's 6.
3 departments.
Your report says 6.
You're correct, but you got to let me clarify that report. That's rude.
No, so is your report a lie?
You have me managing all the departments as a whole. So
No,
I'm not 100%.
no, I do not.
Well, trustees, I'm answering my question. Number 2, we had a man on Forney Road today as soon as we got a complaint. Mr. McLaughlin never called us about a complaint. I got a complaint from the bus driver from First School that a tree had fallen due to the rainstorm. And we had a road person there in 25 minutes after the crews had gone home for the night. And they took care of any trees that were in that area. They drove all the roads, and there were no other trees down in the entire township. When you don't get a phone call saying they know about something, how can your road department respond? Like the 911 call that never got sent to the fire department, and they didn't know that somebody died of a heart attack. There has to be cooperation here. You know that Mr. McLaughlin, I have the floor. You know that Mr. McLaughlin is out and very upset, and he doesn't like to hear the facts. But the state of Ohio are the facts, and the handbook are the facts. And if you follow what the rules say, those questions are pre-answered, not post-answered. So the problem I have is you go on the screen and you say things that are not accurate. And
like
it's
you.
very frustrating.
Like you.
Very frustrating. And if
You do the same thing, sir. You do the same thing.
Mr. McLaughlin has a problem, he has to argue with you 3 trustees because you are the 3 parliamentary parties. No one else can vote on anything. So the
Remember that,
resolution
Mr. Wolf.
is passed.
They are the trustees. You are not our trustee.
Actually, President, we're in trustees' comments.
Trustees report, so we don't need to hear anything.
Order.
Thank you.
Walt,
Thank you.
Finish your thoughts.
It's trustees' comments time.
I don't like, I'm just saying that the residents got to know that the people are not doing half of what is being explained by Mr. McLaughlin. Period. We have the factual information to show it. I'm finished.
Call that number and ask me the questions whenever you want, and I'll tell you the truth.
Well, I don't sit here and not answer the telephone. Ask Mr. McGuire, ask Mr. Mann.
You don't. If they call me and tell you you don't answer the phone. Mr. Wolf did not answer the phone.
How do you know that? But on top of that,
I got the message on my phone.
Tracy, are you above returning a phone call?
I am not administrative assistant. I am not the trustee. Yes, I am above doing you guys' job that you are paid for, especially administrator that is overpaid.
Well, technically speaking, Tracy, you should have been the one to clean up
technically about it. It is not me to answer the phone.
Okay, can I?
Go ahead, Mr. Mann.
Trustee Mann.
Okay, we get new people in, and they have some ideas, or they want to see something different. And some of those people, you give them time to speak and see what they say, and they appreciate that. But we can't come in here and argue every meeting we have. You got to come to this meeting, then you got to go through all this before the meeting is over. And let's have a good meeting, and let's forget about all this argument. Now, Mike may run a meeting a little bit different than what I would run a meeting. If somebody comes in or want to say something, I'm gonna most likely let them talk. And it's not gonna take long. But one thing people have to keep in mind, we've got a procedure that we have to follow to make sure that we get the documentation done the way it should be done. So that's why at times we may say, if you can hold on for a little bit, because we may have a motion on the floor, but let's everybody take that under consideration. Now, I've had a couple meetings, a couple people, let's say, that has talked to me about doing some things, trying to get things together. And with you two, my other trustees, I'm gonna call you and let you know what those individuals said, so we can talk about this and see what we can do. But things change at times, so let's come in and have a good meeting, and let's, at the end, go without an argument. Let's not talk about credit cards or these things that's going to cause some problems. Let's talk about where we are. And you know, we've been through a lot, and we've got some more things to go through. So keep that in mind as we talk here in the future. All right, Mr. McGuire, you've got the closing argument.
No comment.
Trustees, these meetings are a train wreck. Thank God the videos that McLaughlin is putting online hit a dead end, because hardly anybody but our employees look at the meetings. We can't even get the basics done. Everybody comes to this meeting with an agenda to take somebody's head off, have a gotcha moment, backstab. How many times have we heard, like McLaughlin, he is foaming at the mouth to give Wolf an evaluation. So he wants to evaluate this guy that just took care of our payroll. If Wolf didn't step up, our employees wouldn't have been paid. And guess how many employees we would have lost? It's technically Tracy's job.
No, it's not. You took it away from me. There's a resolution that says I'm not to do payroll. So if you want me to do it, then give it to me.
So you got people leaving the township. The rumor is they're sick of the fighting in the office. You got residents upset. We can't even take care of the basics. The reason Wolf's people don't have credit cards is because of politics and personal grudges that the people in this meeting are playing.
Because you didn't vote for.
I'm an employee of the township. I'm entitled to health care benefits.
You're not an employee.
So then what is that check I get every 30 days?
It's a compensation.
Why are you interrupting me,
Why are
Tracy?
you asking my question then?
All right, if you were a business thinking about coming to Jefferson Township and saw one of our meetings, you'd say, hell no, I'm not going to Jefferson. Same thing with a family that's thinking about locating. We're good at fighting. We got lawsuits out the yin yang. So until we get back to basics, which take care of the issue of the minutes, we got people that don't want to work with the other trustees and act on their own. So, Mr. Fletcher, you've been very critical of this administration. I almost like hearing that criticism because it's something that the people up here needed to hear. So, some of what you've got started, I agree with getting some discussion going, but I disagree with the way that you want to do the meetings. So that's something per meeting, the trustees can set the procedures of the meetings and how they want it to go. We can decide whether or not we want to allow more or less public comments, but right now, all everybody does is want to argue and yell the blame game. Half of our administration wants to attack Wolf, but nobody has a problem giving him something else to do that he'll stay and work on and get it done. So everybody wants to delegate to him, but yeah, we're going to be coming to a head where no doubt in my mind, McLaughlin's going to walk into a meeting with a resolution to fire Mr. Wolf after week of harassing and humiliating this guy.
It's a contract.
Bring it, Mr. McLaughlin.
You can't fire me. It's a contract.
So
Don't make up these stories.
I don't get it. We're
You're
our
wrong, you're
worst
wrong.
own. I'm not talking to you, Tracy.
But
I
I'm
have the
talking to
floor.
you.
You know, the community can't even, we don't even have, the community can't even come together with a vision. Mr. Fletcher, I'd like to see you come into the meeting with some expectations of your vision for this community and what you'd like to
You
see.
didn't listen.
So,
We can meet and talk.
I'd love to have coffee with you,
Yeah, we can have a conversation.
okay? I mean, I think you're on the right track. And I agree with a lot of what you have brought up in the meetings. And yeah, I'll sit down with you and we can educate you on a few things. I thank Mr. Wolf for taking care of the payroll. And trustees, if you're serious about getting stuff done, then we're going to set up some meetings. We have to take care of these staffing issues because Wolf can't do it all. And so you look at his timesheet, you look at his reports, he's doing the best he can with what he has to work with, but it's our turn to step up and give this guy some more tools to make it happen because the work's piling up. Like Wolf said, the zoning cases are building up to 10 or 12. These are people that want to build houses, fences, whatever. We need to take care of that. According to the code enforcement report, looks like we have a good list of properties that have been violated. So we've got places to mow where we can legally go in. And I think that was part of the question that you had earlier, Mr. Fletcher. Okay. So we'll be able to mow, but where we're going to fall short is going to be some follow-up, and we're not going to have people out patrolling until we deal with this void. But we are deep into the application process to fill the zoning administrator position. So we've got somebody coming, and if we can get this pull these meetings off with the trustees, we should be able to at least get somebody seated pretty soon because this is prime time for code enforcement and problems. The number one complaint that brings people to meetings is grass, junk cars, and weeds and trash. So, but with people leaving the township, that's something that we can't control, and there's only so much that we can do. That's the end of my report. Motion to adjourn.
Can I say something, Mr. Mannion? Did you tell me a meeting that, a day we're gonna meet, because I don't want it to be put off too long about the OPERS and OP&L. Do you know when you wanna meet with me? A date,
What about Thursday?
Thursday? I knew you were gonna say Thursday. Well, it'll have to be late because,
Okay, how about Friday?
Friday's fine. You tell me a time.
You give me a time.
You wanna do early or late?
Doesn't matter.
And where you wanna meet?
We can,
Township?
Yeah.
Calumet?
we can do
Okay,
that.
What about 9:00?
All right.
Okay, that's all I had. I'm sorry.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hear you? Did you say yes? Okay.
Yes.
Trustee McGuire,
Yes.
trustee Mann.
Yes.
Okay, we're adjourned at 8:57 p.m.